In this video, I'm going to talk all about gut health, okay? What is gut health? Why is it so important? What do we have to do to avoid harming our gut health? And what can we do to improve it? I'm going to keep this video very short and simple and straight to the point. And then later, I'm going to be uploading different shorter videos about this topic, just sticking to one specific tip about this topic so things don't get complicated and it's not a long video where you don't forget anything. At the end of the video below, I have for you steps and the foods and everything that you need to do in order to improve your gut health so that you don't have to write anything down and you know exactly what you need to do today to improve your gut health, all right? So what is your gut health? It is a system called the digestive tract, okay? And it starts within our esophagus, goes down to our stomach, our small intestine, our large intestine, all the way down to our anus, okay? And in our gut health, we have something that's called the microbiome. Okay, this microbiome is full of trillions, hundreds of trillions, not thousands, millions, or billions, but trillions of bacterias, fungus, viruses, okay? And it sounds pretty freaky, right? They live in us and they live on us. Now we have many of them that are good and many of them that are bad. Okay, what we want to do is we always want to try to improve the good ones. Why? What do they do for us? They are basically helping us regulate almost everything in our body. When it comes to our immune system is one of them. So whenever we have anything that's called pathogens, pathogens are microorganisms that like are invaders that enter our body and they try to cause disease. So what happens when we have a large army of good bacteria, they come for war and they protect us. So we want to make sure those are high. So when any type of chemical or virus that comes and tries to attack our body, we got a long army right there ready to fight them off. So that's why it's super important. Everything that happens to us when it comes to our health will boil down to the health of our digestive tract, of our gut. Okay, so that's one of the things that it does. It also helps regulate a lot of the hormones in our body, almost all of them. So if it's help regulating our hormones, it's also going to help regulate the way that we feel. Okay, the clarity, the focus, our mood. It helps regulate many different hormones like our estrogen levels, cortisol levels, which is our stress, leptin and ghrelin, which tell us when we're hungry, when we're full. Okay, insulin sensitivity, glucose, so many different hormones. Melatonin helps us make us when we feel tired. So many, testosterone for an example as well. So our libido, our sex drive, many different hormones. I don't want to confuse you and get too scientific, but I want you to realize how much it has an impact on the way that we feel and our health, okay? So those are the couple of things that it does. Now, I want to first get into what are the things that will increase the bad bacteria and will have a negative effect on our health so that we know what we need to do in order to avoid that first. Because there's really no point of just focusing on what we got to do to help improve it if we're still doing things that are going to destroy our gut health, right? So the first step before taking any steps to trying to improve it is first understanding what is even causing my gut health to be damaged from the beginning. Now, if you might think, okay, how do I know if I have an unhealthy gut? A lot of people who are dealing with digestive issues because it's digestive tract, right? So if you're having acid reflux, a lot of burping, constipation, bloating, if you feel like you cannot eat a lot of the foods, you know what I mean? And a lot of people who are dealing with like SIBO, ulcerative colitis, and many different digestive issues, irritable bowel syndrome, for an example, these people have a lot to do with, their gut health needs more improvement, okay? There could be many different things that people are dealing with, but it will boil down to the health of your gut, yeah? Because that's what's helping you being able to break down food, digest it, absorb it, and eliminate it. So it's very important that we pay attention to first what's damaging it and how can we improve it, yeah? So in the beginning, the first, most and foremost is to try to remove any kind of processed junk food, fast food, artificial food, genetically modified food, foods that have what's called MSG and sugar, okay? Because all of these foods will help reproduce this bad bacteria, especially sugar. So we want to try to remove sugar as much as possible when you're someone that's dealing with a lot of digestive issues, okay? Because all you're doing is creating an environment that's helping these bad bacteria reproduce more. It's like they're creating cities in your body. They're like, all right, man, there's a lot of sugar that's coming in here. Build a house there, build me a mansion over there. It looks like I'm going to be here for a while. Let's have babies, baby, because we got some food coming in. That's basically what's happening, you know what I mean? So we want them to think, no, you're going to starve and you're not going to create an environment in my body where you're going to be producing your entire army of family, you know what I mean? So it's the processed food, the sugary food, all these foods that are in boxes and packages, all that stuff, they have a bunch of ingredients that are different kind of sugars, different kind of genetically modified foods, vegetable oils, all of this that damage our gut, okay? Non-organic foods as well. Why? Because they spray them with something that's called pesticides and herbicides in order for pests and insects and stuff not to get onto the fruits and vegetables, yeah? So they spray it with this chemical so that they don't come on there, but then that damages our gut health, okay? Antibiotics is the #1 factor that destroys our good bacteria and bad bacteria. What does it do? Whenever we get sick, it's like, okay, let's destroy all of the bacteria in the body, okay? Because it cannot just destroy the bad, so it destroys all of it. So especially when you're someone when you just take a cycle of antibiotics, you really need to focus on how can I improve my gut health in order to bring back those good bacteria that I lost. That's why people who do a lot of antibiotics or take medicine like Voltaren or medicine for acid reflux, all of these kind of medications destroys our good bacteria. Any kind of medication destroys it, but antibiotics is like basically that's its job, is to kill all the bacteria. You know what I mean? So an antibiotic, processed food, a lot of sugar, and stress, okay? Stress is one of the #1 factors, okay? So we really need, no matter what, we're all dealing with stress, yeah? We're always gonna deal with stress for the rest of our life. It's how we get out of it, how we deal with it, our perception of how we're gonna deal with the situation. Because you have some people, whenever they're dealing with a situation, they keep reliving it, rethinking it, reliving the emotion. You know, some people, if they're dealing with a problem, they call their friends, they talk about it, they think about it, they repeat the situation. Instead of saying, okay, what can I do to improve this situation? No matter what, this is trying to teach me something. There's a solution for everything. I need to be positive. How can I just be calm and think rational instead of like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, you know what happened, this and that, and it's just reliving it. What happens? You're shutting down a system in our body called the parasympathetic nervous system. This system is what helps our body digest, rest, and repair, okay? So there are many different systems in our body that work together in order for us to digest, rest, and repair, yeah? You have all these bacteria that are helping you, all of your organs, and your nervous system, okay? When you're in a stressful state for a long period of time, even if you're in a stress state for a short period of time, when you're stressed out, that parasympathetic nervous system that helps you rest, digest, and repair cannot be turned on. They don't both work at the same time. So it only works when you're in a calm state. So it's very important to, whenever you're dealing with stress, to just not stay there for a long time. And I did a whole video about stress because we have many different stressors that a lot of people aren't even aware about. You have chemical stress from the food, from the chemicals that we smell, from the chemicals we put in our body, all these artificial ingredients in food. Those are chemicals. The pesticides getting sprayed on non-organic food, that's chemical, yeah? You have emotional stress, you have physical stress, injury, pain, all of that is stress your body's still responding to. So if your body's going through any of those kind of stressors, you're not allowing your body to digest and rest. So when you're having bloating issues, there are many important factors that we have to pay attention to. It's not only just one thing. You know, it's looking at the circle of health and paying attention to all of these factors to improve all of them, yeah? So those are the ones that we want to try to focus on in the beginning first, okay? Now I have a list for you of what to do step 1, step 2, step 3, so that this video is not 40 minutes and then you forget what to do and maybe you didn't take notes and stuff. You're probably just watching from your phone real quick. So from now on, I want to make sure that you have a guide that's telling you exactly what you need to apply right now in order to take all this advice that I'm giving you, okay? So don't worry about taking notes or anything, all right? Now, what do we do in order to improve our gut health? The first most important thing, it's so simple, but it's the most important one, is staying hydrated. You already know most of our body consists of water, yeah? And water is what's going to help all of our organs and all of our cells function properly. So that's the main thing that will help every single thing in our body work properly. Okay? There's no point of eating certain foods and taking certain supplements if you're not doing the basic essentials for your body to function. Okay? So the number one thing is the water. Okay? The second thing is your sleep, because when you get proper deep sleep is when your body's also repairing, okay? You have all of your organs, they're trying to repair whenever your body's in a calm state, because when you're during the day, you're so busy doing other things and eating, your body's not in a calm state for it to properly repair. So when you're sleeping is the crucial time. That's the time when your body's like, yes, let's get to work and let's start repairing everything that needs some, you know? So that's why it's important to put your phone away early, not to have the distraction, and get really good rest. Not only for your body to repair, but also so for you to feel good, to function through your day, so that you can do all of the things that you want to do to be healthier, right? Because when you're not energetic and have a clear state of mind, we don't make the best decisions. That's when we feel kind of, what's that word? Anxious, or have a little, like, I forgot, there's a certain word that I want to use. Anyways, so when we're not in a calm state and we don't sleep properly, we make bad decisions. We're like, oh my God, I got so much I need to do. I cannot think right now. Let me just order anything. What's here? Let me just grab chips, biscuit, this, that. I don't have time. I'm busy. I have to take care of the kids. I have to go to work. So we're not in a calm state. When you get really good sleep, you feel good. Your body, your brain is functioning. You don't feel nervous because your nervous system relaxed, you know, it did what it had to do. Okay, now move on to the next thing. Now, the third thing is understanding if your body is dealing with any kind of food intolerances, yeah? So how do you do that? You start elimination diet. And what I mean by elimination is now you eliminate the amount of foods that you eat within a meal so that you can determine which food is causing you to feel the way that you're feeling, and tracking it and journaling it, writing everything down, okay? Because sometimes we're like, I get bloated all the time, but we're not paying attention to when are we getting bloated, okay? When is the bloating happening? From which food? If you're going to have a salad that has 10 vegetables and fruits and nuts in it, how are you going to determine which specific food in there that's causing the bloating, okay? Now, usually processed food is what causes the number one bloating, because it's a lot of consists of wheat and soy and corn and vegetable oil, and that damages our gut health, okay? And gluten and all that. This protein also has a negative effect a lot on people, especially when their gut health isn't at the healthiest, okay? So processed food, all of that most definitely will get you bloated, but also healthy foods will as well, okay? So first we want to determine which are those foods. If you're going to eat a meal, have one vegetable, okay? And stick to one vegetable, one carbohydrate, one protein. So you say, I'm going to have broccoli with maybe sweet potato and chicken. And keep it simple. Write it down. See, how did you feel? Did you feel bloated? Did you get gassy? Did you get burping? Do you have acid reflux? Are you constipated? All of these things are very important to pay attention to. Have a list every single day. How do you feel with it when it comes to breaking it down, digesting it, absorbing it, and eliminating it, okay? How did it make you feel? Sluggish, you know, tired, energetic, you felt good? Did you feel like you want to sleep after? All of these are very important to pay attention to, okay? Shuya mush mushy, mush mush. He loves sniffing everything, okay? So now you want to start the elimination diet so you know. Now, when you figure out which foods are causing you bloating, what you're going to do is you're going to avoid those foods for the time being, okay? Just for the time being. Until you repair your gut, then you slowly start to incorporate them. Before, I had so many foods that got me bloated. Tomatoes, I had broccoli, so many seeds, so many nuts. Now I can eat them. I don't get bloated at all, okay? So once you get them out after, like you say, about like a month or so, then you can start, when you're doing everything that I'm about to tell you, after like a month or 2 months, then you incorporate one food at a time, and then you journal it again, and you see how did your body react to that, okay? So the food intolerances. Then the next one is going to be lemon water, okay? Lemon water one of the main reasons why lemon water is so beneficial for our health. We know it has a lot of vitamin C, which will help our immune system. It'll also help the lining of our intestines, okay? And it will also help increase something called bile, okay? Bile is a fluid. And this fluid is produced within our liver and it's stored in our gallbladder. Now this fluid, it helps our body to digest food, mainly fats, nuts, seeds, avocado, olive oil, salmon, sardines, okay? So these are healthy fats that we want to be able to break down. And we need those healthy fats because those healthy fats play a crucial role with our brain health, the regulation of our hormones, and many other different things, okay? So lemon water, you get 3-4 lemons, put it in your bottle and drink it, okay? And this is the natural way to get that vitamin C into your body and produce that bile production, okay? Now, when it comes to the foods, okay? Now, also it's gonna come to the food and the supplement I'm gonna talk about, okay? There's prebiotic and there's probiotic, okay? Now we have these prebiotic and probiotic from the food that we eat. It's produced in our body as well, okay? We wanna make sure that we get those two together, okay? Because prebiotic comes before the probiotic. It's pre, okay? It's basically the fertilizer for the probiotic. You think of the probiotic like a seed, okay? You put the seed for the plant to grow. But in order for the plant to grow, it needs fertilizer. That's how these two work together, okay? So you get it as a supplement and you also get it from the foods. Now we get it from the supplement because we have, like I mentioned, trillions of bacteria and fungus and viruses in our body, yeah? So we want to be able to get different strands, they call them, from these bacteria because there's trillions of them. So it's going to be hard when you're trying to repair your gut to only get it from food. You can, but when you want to get a faster way to get it and make sure that you're getting so many of the different bacteria, we use it as a supplement combined with a healthy lifestyle, okay? So there's no point of taking the supplement if you're gonna be eating chocolate and desserts and junk food and fast food and fried food and all that stuff, fast food, there's no point of doing this. So it's really important to understand first to eliminate all of that for at least 2 weeks. We need to eliminate it from our body for 2 weeks, then we start incorporating the prebiotics and the probiotics, okay? So I'm going to create a list for you exactly of the kind of foods like onions, garlic, leeks. You have also fermented foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, pickles, all of these foods, but I'm going to write them down for you. I'm going to have them for you so that you know exactly and you don't forget, okay? And then you incorporate that in your meals every single day. You also want to have collagen boosting foods that are high in vitamin C, and also one is one of the strongest to help improve your gut health, and that's called bone broth, okay? So it's basically a broth from the bones of chicken and meat, okay? You can choose beef or chicken. So basically they take those bones, they boil it, and they create a broth out of it, okay? So you can buy this from the store, but you wanna make sure that they're good quality chicken, good quality meat that's grass-fed, pasture-raised, okay? And you can buy it from there, or you can make it yourself. And you can find so many YouTube videos on how you can make it. It's a little of a hassle. If you don't mind being in the kitchen and stuff, you can make it, freeze it, keep it in the freezer with you, or you buy it. Now this is great because there's so many ways that you can incorporate this, okay? And it's very high in collagen, okay? Collagen is the #1 thing that's gonna help restore, repair everything in your gut, okay? And your skin and your hair and your nails and all that stuff, all right? Which is extra good. So you do it by cooking your rice, your quinoa, your couscous, your chicken soup, whatever soup that you want to make. You can even drink it. People just put it in like a little mug and they drink it, okay? So I love incorporating that with my rice. Like I cook it with the rice. Instead of boiling regular water, I put the bone broth and I boil it in there. I make this soup out of there, okay? So I just pour it in there. I put the vegetables and I put a bunch of onions, garlic, ginger, leek, bok choy. I put all the greens in there and I make a soup out of it. I absolutely love it. I'm like so addicted to it, okay? If you guys want the recipe, you let me know. I'll tell you one of my favorite soups that I love making. And whenever I get sick and I have this soup, immediately, it's like healing to the body immediately. It's crazy what these foods can do for your body, honestly. So I think I think that was all of the points that I wanted to mention. If there's any questions that you have, you just leave a comment below. Now, this topic about gut health, there's so many subtopics that's related to this, and it can get a bit scientific. So what I thought, I'm just going to make shorter videos and going into depth a little bit more, straight to the point, instead of watching really long videos and forgetting everything that I mentioned, okay? So yeah, I hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions, just leave a comment below.